Welcome His Excellency the President to do a personal presentation of some items to the renowned Bus Stop Boys, who are a group of great example. Shall we welcome His Excellency with a big round of applause?
Thank you very much. As I said, we decided today to recognize these selfless, community-spirited young people who, for several years, using their own resources, their energy and strength, continue to volunteer to keep our city clean. My attention was drawn to them, as I said, last year, and that was because they were appealing for a tricycle to be able to cut away the garbage when they have removed it. Tricycle is aboboya, for those of you who don't know a tricycle. And so I donated a tricycle to them. And since then, I've been seeing the good work they do. They take a long stretch, they remove the pavement slabs, and they go into the gutter and scoop the gutter. And by the time they finish, you see water is flowing through the drain. So today we decided to honor them and make a presentation to them so that it can facilitate their work. And so I got the Chief of Staff and the Ministry of Local Government to put their heads together. And they have these items that are arranged over there. They have 200 wheelbarrows. They have 300 shovels. They have 300 brooms. That is the local broom, prior, and then the one with a stick, standing broom. There are 300 of those. Then they have 300 hand gloves. You know, when you're doing sanitation, you have to wear gloves in order not to carry infection. Then they have brushes, they call them standing brushes. And there are 280 of those. Then there are what they call short brush. I'm not exactly sure what that is. But there are 20 of those. And then they have 300 buckets, plastic buckets, 300 of them. And so we're going to present it to them this morning in recognition of their work, the work they do, and also to facilitate and make it easier for them to continue doing what they do. If other volunteer groups come up, we'll recognize them the same way and assist them to also be able to help the community. So bring me one of the brooms. We'll just use one of the brooms or the brushes. Yeah, any of them. So it's my honor and privilege to present these items to the Bus Stop Boys. And so your leader can take charge of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To the chairman of this beautiful ceremony, all protocol duly observed, and to the president, I call you the father of volunteers, because at the time you gave us the 50,000 was at the hardest point of our lives, where we wanted a mini excavator to be able to do a lot of the silting. And fast forward today, I'm so grateful personally, because at the end of the day, it started with me. And everybody here also saw the need to join. We are so grateful. And let me also remind you, Mr. President, there are already existing 12 young volunteer groups doing same as we do. The likes of Keep Kumasi Cleaner in Kumasi, the Brotherhood is in Koklobite, the Gandangbe youth are somewhere, was the name Choco. Say, we are so grateful, and because of your kind support, many of the youth are seeing the need to be involved in this. Say, I am particularly passionate about this journey because I do understand that the foundation of life is the environment. And once the environment starts going bad, it simply means that we are going to have more people walking to the hospitals. And no matter what, we cannot guarantee deaths for 100 people falling sick in a day. So we are so grateful, and we say with this, we are going to push even much harder to reiterate and to state that indeed Ghana is the gateway to Africa, and we must start to ensure that we have cleaner space everywhere. Finally, sir, before I conclude, I also want to remind you that as a student of history, I know that as far back 1996, Rwanda was fighting genocide. Sir, today they are the cleanest city in Africa. It saddens my heart because I know Ghana hasn't gone to any war, meaning that we can do much better. But we need to say deliberately involve young people in the campaign of environmental sustainability. I remember an advert that talks about drugs when I was young that says Akolao Kohin, Mwo cocaine. I still remember these ads after 30 years. All I'm trying to say is that infographics are very powerful too. We need to deliberately put them on our media spaces in order to change the mindset of the collective. Thank you, sir.
Well, the applause should be louder, and it should be louder. The Buster Boys representing what can be positive about the youth of Ghana, showing great example and getting the attention of authority with His Excellency the President at the helm. A great gesture indeed, which will go to encourage and also unconsciously inspire many others in different parts of the country to do same. Your Excellency, we're grateful to you. Ladies and gentlemen.
His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, the chairperson for today's occasion, Ojiahoho Yaojebi II, His Royal Highness, the Gamanche, Honorable Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, the Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, Ministers of State and Members of Parliament present, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, heads of agencies here gathered, distinguished traditional and religious leaders, representatives of our development partners, members of civil society and the private sector, our dear students who have joined us here today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today at the official relaunch of the National Sanitation Day. This initiative reaffirms our collective duty to building a clean, healthy, and sustainable Ghana. Beyond keeping our environment tidy, it is about nurturing a culture of responsibility, discipline, collective action for national progress. On behalf of the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, I wish to extend my gratitude to the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs for spearheading this all-important national initiative, and to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, for your unwavering commitment to building a cleaner, healthier, prosperous, and a Ghana that we all envisage. For the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, sanitation is essential for creating an environment where young people can grow, learn, and thrive. A clean environment enhances dignity, productivity, and public health for present and future generations. With their energy, creativity, and sense of duty, the youth can transform the National Sanitation Day into a lasting culture and also a way of life. The reintroduction of this initiative is therefore of unique significance, as the youth, the majority of our population, and the vanguard of our national change are indispensable if this program is going to be successful. Sanitation is closely tied to the ministry's thematic areas of civic engagement and community participation, as well as the health and well-being. It provides young people with practical opportunities to contribute to national development through cleanup exercise, volunteerism, and awareness campaigns, fostering leadership, unity, and responsibilities in their communities. At the same time, good sanitation reduces preventable diseases such as malaria, cholera, typhoid, thereby safeguarding the health and productivity of the youth. By promoting sanitation, we are not only building stronger, more united communities, but also empower young people to channel their energy and potential into innovation and nation building, rather than battling avoidable illnesses. These two thematic areas remind us that sanitation is not only a matter of cleanliness, but also empowerment, dignity, and national pride. The Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment is committed to mobilizing schools, youth groups, student associations, community volunteers, and young entrepreneurs in the sanitation value chain to actively support this all-important National Sanitation Day. We will harness their energy, creativity, and innovation. We will channel the enthusiasm of our youth into a united, concerted effort to building the clean and green Ghana that we all want. We will integrate sanitation education into our programs to build lifelong habits of environmental responsibility and deepen the link between cleanliness and national development. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the state of our environment mirrors the state of our development. By keeping Ghana clean, we protect the health of our people, safeguard natural resources, and secure the future for generations yet unborn. As a ministry, we strongly believe that sanitation is not just a duty, but a shared legacy and responsibility. As a ministry, we will partner with the district assemblies, traditional authorities, civil society, development partners, alongside the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs to promote sustainable, innovative, youth-led sanitation initiatives across the country. Our commitment is to ensure that young people are not only active participants, but also leaders in this historic effort, making Sanitation Day not just a monthly event, but a way of life. In concluding, Mr. President, I also want to take the opportunity to commend our various youth groups that have continuously been at the forefront of sanitation issues in this country, especially our YEA sweepers who continuously, even under difficult conditions, try to keep our country clean and safe. And also to the bar stop boys who on their own have volunteered to continuously keep our environments clean. Together, let us build a Ghana where cleanliness, health, and civic responsibility define our national character and everyday culture. Thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Honorable Ministers of State present, Deputy Ministers, my fellow traditional rulers, the clergy, representative of the Chief Imam, development partners, representatives of invited ministries, departments, and agencies, my dear students, the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. An African scholar once said, when the gong sounds in our villages, the people gather mostly not because of threats, but because they understand that the message to be delivered touches their hearts and lives. And this is precisely why we have gathered here today. Today's gathering is no different. It is like the gong being beaten in summoning all of us to rise together to address one of the most important issues which affects virtually every sector of national development. The subject which has brought us together today is environmental sanitation. It affects the dignity, well-being, and the very destiny of our people, and the challenges of sanitation must be addressed with support from all and sundry. I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the government of Ghana through the Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs for the trust they have reposed in me. This role is merely ceremonial. So it's not merely ceremonial, but a national responsibility to affirm my support, and indeed the support of all chiefs, for the national charge in ensuring clean and safe communities for all, and thereby deliver healthy and prosperous country for every Ghanaian. As a traditional ruler, I believe in the fact that our forebears entrusted us with the responsibility of promoting the welfare of our people, and certainly cleanliness is one of the most important ways in which that welfare is achieved and safeguarded. From ancient times, our culture as a people has valued cleanliness. My people say, if the stone is dirty, it is because the house where it rests is unclean. This proverb reminds us that a person's character is reflected in the state of his or her environment. Across Ghana, communal labor was a sacred duty where men, women, and children came together to sweep past clean water sources, clean drains, and maintain village properties and access. This was not a government directive, but instead our way of life. The revival of National Sanitation Day is for me a wake-up call to reawaken our forgotten and dormant communal spirit, and also make a bold statement that sanitation is not the duty of government alone, nor of district assemblies alone, but the duty of us all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as chiefs, we cannot be bystanders, since the palace has always been the heartbeat of the community life. When the chief calls, the people gather. When the chief leads, the people follow. For this reason, I pledge in my capacity and the president of the National House of Chiefs, and indeed on behalf of my fellow chiefs, that we will not only support this initiative in words, but in deeds. We shall mobilize our communities, sound the gong in every corner, and lead by example to make cleanliness once again part of our culture. But let me emphasize that today's ceremony must not end with fine speeches, but instead its success must be measured in the months and years ahead by clean markets, by unblocked drains, and by households that adopt proper waste practices. If we, the leaders here today, demonstrate true commitment, ordinary citizens will certainly follow. Let me repeat this paragraph, ladies and gentlemen. But let me emphasize that today's ceremony must not end with fine speeches, but instead, its success must be measured in the months and years ahead by clean markets, by unblocked drains, and by households that adopt proper waste practices. If we, the leaders here today, demonstrate true commitment, ordinary citizens will certainly follow. I therefore challenge every sector, including government, institutions, private businesses, schools, churches, mosques, and families, to see themselves as guardians of the environment. If every household separates its waste, if every market association delegates a clean up day, if every assembly enforces the rules of sanitation rigidly, and if every traditional ruler sustains communal labor, then the transformation will be unstoppable. Ghana will not only be healthier, but future generations will remember us as the leaders who restored discipline and cleanliness to our land. So, Nananom, this is a big challenge to us. Once again, I extend my gratitude to His Excellency the President for the personal commitment to this cause, to the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Regional Affairs for their tireless efforts, and to all partners who have contributed to this worthy cause. For my part, I give you my words. I will use my voice and my office as President of the National Associates to ensure that the National Sanitation Day does not become a soon-to-be-forgotten event, but a way of life, culture, and inheritance, and a lasting legacy for generations to come. With this deep conviction, I humbly accept to serve as the chairman of today's lunch, and may this day mark the dawn of a Ghana that radiates health, dignity, and unity. And may the Almighty bless our efforts and bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.